Hey everybody, how's it going? It is November the 10th, 2020. This is the Imperial Remnant Broadcast, coming to you live from the Fandom Empire YouTube channel. I am one of your hosts, Sean. Thank you for taking the next 90 minutes or so out of your night to talk Star Wars with us, play along with trivia, which I'm sure I'll get screwed on. That happens on a weekly basis, and so much more. We have so much for you guys tonight. We are talking Mandalorian Season 2, Chapter 10, Season 2, Episode 2. I don't really know how they're doing this. I'm confuzzled already. We're also talking Boba Fett Mini Series, which is apparently, in fact, happening out of nowhere. Guess it goes to show you that even the Hollywood industry doesn't have the scoop on things anymore. Joining me on tonight's show, first up, he's the man that looks like he has a cut-off head, but I can't get over there to adjust his camera anymore. It's Johnny. We see your eyes. That's what matters. How's it going, man? Oh, hang on. Let's try now.
I don't even know what to say to that. Like, you can only see my eyes. So you're saying that I'm cosplaying as Wilson right now? Is that what this is? Like, I'm Wilson tonight?
It looks like the camera is right on you, so I don't know how.
Okay, so it's from like here down, so I'm Oppo Wilson.
Oppo Wilson. You also need to talk directly into the mic, sir.
No, don't tell me how to talk into a microphone.
Look at Johnny go.
I will try to adjust my levels to match their levels. This is a new setup for us. We'll be working out the kinks, and I don't mean what Thaden's doing on his spare time. Also joining us today.
How do you know Thaden has awkward kinks?
Oh my God! You know, I just realized.
No, but I'm sure you're about to tell us.
I'm sitting here wondering what the fuck am I looking at in Johnny's camera? It's somehow, some way, the way it's showing up, Kylo Ren is like,
hello there.
There we go. So Kylo Ren, yeah, it's that's trippy as fuck. Oh man!
I'm gonna have to go back and see this.
I'll just put Kylo there.
It does look comically weird.
Can you see Johnny now?
Yeah, well, I mean, we always could. It just kind of, when the head was turned the other way, it looked like, Kylo was doing the business for Johnny.
See, it's more like
all you seen was the head bobbling, and
it looked more like Kylo was sitting in front of me telling me what to say, and then you turned him around and it's like he's the one that's important and I'm the guy in the background.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
All right, so I have to stress, guys, because of the type of microphones that we're using, you have to turn and talk directly into the microphone or this will not work.
No.
Also joining us on tonight's show, they are the tandem, the brothers, the hosts of the Rogue Sons, a Star Wars podcast. It's Kieran and Thaden. How's it going, boys?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, we just recorded Rogue Sons just before this.
Now that I think of it, I had a terrible day today, but that's okay.
Sounds like my day.
I had a busy day.
Yeah.
So yeah, life
was
is
good.
Busy.
But yeah, it's funny. The end of our Rogue Sons show is Thaden being like, yeah, we should probably go now. And then us looking at the time and being like, oh, fuck. And then we just leave to film this show.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, man. I remember those days, Johnny, where Star Wars Wastelands would go live at 10 Eastern and, it'd be 1:30 in the morning and be like, oh, right. I got work tomorrow. Whoops.
Better that than those nights when we went until like 3:30 in the morning.
Oh, the 4 or 5 hour marathons were something else. Also joining us in a new role, he's the behind-the-scenes guy. He's the producer. You will still see him pop up on your screen, but now, to meet his demands, he wanted his own page. He couldn't appear on screen with the rest of us. It's Mr. Go Fuck Himself. It's Tommy B. What's happening, man?
Hey. It's been a bit of a rocky day. We just got some very crazy news down here where I'm hanging out a little bit outside Baltimore, Maryland. Things are scaling back a bit, but it is what it is. Taking it day by day.
We got an echo.
You got an echo?
You're good now. You're good.
Oh, well then. I guess I'll just go fuck myself. How about that?
There it is.
Does this mean that we could ask Tommy to fact check stuff for us?
We can. He is our official fact checker, official
that's
producer.
awesome.
He's going to be doing more work as a fact checker than he ever did as a co-host, like a full-fledged member of the conversation co-host.
You're gonna random.
Tommy, I got a fact for you to check. How many times has Sean won Death Watch? Shouldn't take long.
Oh,
that's a fact that's buried far back because Sean makes the trivia, he makes the rules. So
And yet still hasn't won a game?
Mark my words, tonight, no matter what the category is, I guarantee victory.
Ooh.
Call it. I'm winning. That simple.
Shoop.
I've known Sean for going on forever, really, and the guy's got a pretty high rate of success when he calls it like that. I'm just saying, it's uncanny sometimes.
I'm interested.
It's uncanny sometimes how he can just be like, "I got this. I'm gonna win," and then does exactly that.
Sweet.
It is a little creepy. So I don't.
It's weird.
Yeah, y'all
timing.
got some bad.
I'll explain it
odds
later. Anyways.
Tommy, we're
yeah.
excuse me. There's random chat going on in the chat here that I'm getting distracted by. Dude, so why don't you maybe just let the audience know why the change and why this you think this works better?
Yeah, sure, totally. So,
I'm sorry, Tommy. That's all the time we have for you today. We're gonna have to move. No, I'm kidding.
Next segment.
We're grinding my gears already.
You don't have to go fuck yourself if we do it for you.
So
I'm not signing up for that.
Fandom Empire, Fandom Cantina, all that, everything, every name we've ever done, every so on and so forth, every project we've ever worked on, it's just about always been remotely administered. Well, now, with everything going on in y'all's neck of the woods, this is the first time where we're ever having folks coming together in one location for content creation. So, I don't want to say there's been a disconnect because I think we work better, but I feel like for the sake of producing superior content and such, it's better that we focus on a panel, a round table, if you will, that's able to meet at that one location. Having said that, I love Fandom Empire. I love what we do in here. I love our community, and I am absolutely not going anywhere. I'm still here. I'm here to stay. And
that's incorrect, Tommy. We actually clicked off you.
Bit.
No, I'm kidding. No. Dude, I'm going to grind your gears. This is going to be a lot of fun because now I can just click a button. It's just like, oh, he's gone.
We need to make a Tommy filter so that whenever we show him, it's like in hologram form.
That would be awesome.
That would be great.
Let me have a private moment here, guys, and we'll bring you back in. So, to my understanding, believe it or not, I had no idea what Discord was.
Goodness.
Yeah, I'm old.
You don't know what Discord is?
I did not.
What are you, 40?
Alberto, I can tell you right now, man, when we get to reviewing Mandalorian, there will be spoilers. We'll let you know ahead of time when we get there. That's in the council segment, but we will be talking spoilers. Until then, you can stick around. Look, to anybody that's wondering out there, apparently there is a fake Fandom Empire on Discord going around asking people for money. I've seen the screenshots. Yeah, our friend Solid Saturn in the chat made us aware of this a couple days ago. And to the motherfucker that has nothing better to do with his time than pretend to be someone he or she is not, kindly go fuck yourself. Now, moving on.
And not in the polite Tommy way either.
No, definitely not. In some real
horn of a rhino.
Oh, for sure.
Use
Absolutely.
something metal and painful.
Metal and painful.
Yeah.
A pair of despair.
And I know, by the way,
Pairs can be fun.
Kieran and Thaden don't look as nearly high quality as Johnny and I. We're gonna figure that out, and we'll it won't be this episode, but we'll figure it out, and we'll figure it out. Anyways, I guess, guys, that's gonna lead us to our first topic of the day, which is in fact, what is it? I need to bring up the notes.
clearly hoping to just find it along the way.
Really hoping I would just get that by the end of the sentence.
Yeah, I was digging. And
Oops, news? Is it news?
Dug myself a hole.
Yeah, HoloNet news.
We'll get there.
It's weird. None of my this is not good. None of my images are loading. There we go.
Oh.
All right. Well, it's
isn't the order pretty much always the same?
It's time for the news.
Yes.
In this very long intro.
God and behold, but I saw my resolve has never been stronger. In order to ensure the security and continuing stability, the Republic will be reorganized into the first galactic empire for a safe and secure society.
Alrighty, we're back. It's time for the news, and there's actually a lot of it this week, so we probably won't be able to give every topic the attention that it deserves. Let's start with the biggie. This one right out of Deadline. Apparently next week, to Kieran's great displeasure, there is a Boba Fett mini series, much like the Obi-Wan series, or a limited series, that is going to begin filming. This isn't like, oh, hey, this might happen down the road, a couple years from now. The report from Deadline, and Deadline's about as accurate as it gets, is they're going to begin filming a Boba Fett series next fucking week. Next week. That's absolutely insane. Thoughts, everyone. Thaden, you look like you're...
I'm just happy that Kieran hates it. But actually, my thoughts are, it'll probably be good if they do it. I like most of the stuff that they do, and I think they'll have a good intro with Mando, and they're building up their TV stuff, so I think they're going to put a lot of effort into it. And I think the next several years of Star Wars are going to be TV, and that stuff has less riding on it, I think, than movies, so I don't know, it tends to be better because of that, I feel like, in a weird way. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not the biggest Boba Fett fan, so I'm not super excited, but I'm interested, and I probably will like it if it comes out, and I think it could definitely come out it could be one of the sooner shows we get, possibly.
I was going to say, the other nugget is apparently we're going to see this before Mandalorian Season 3, so I'm guessing you're looking at summer, fall, probably summer even.
Yeah.
Johnny, your thoughts on a Boba Fett miniseries? I get it. We had the Josh Trank thing. We had the James Mangold thing. But to begin rolling next week, I think there's a reason this is happening, but I want to hear your thoughts first.
Well, I'm just going to parse semantics first, and that's directly quote the article, and that they're saying it's possibly a Boba Fett series.
Well, for what it's worth, John Campia backed it up full hard. So did Robert Meyer Burnett.
I'm just parsing the actual semantics so that so that nobody can point to us and say, well, they confirmed it if it does come out to be that it's not actually a Boba Fett series. So
I'd rather Cobb Vanth, if I'm being honest. I'd love to see him get his own series.
Me too. That'd be cool.
So I'm just gonna parse those semantics and say it's not confirmed to be a Boba Fett series, but they're hearing it's possibly a Boba Fett series. So 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I'd put my money in the Boba Fett camp because there's a lot of story to be told there, and I'm intrigued to get an idea, and it makes a lot of sense too, since we're gonna presumably have Boba Fett in the Mandalorian, and there's a lot of questions of how do you get out of the pit, and what the hell has he been doing for the last however many years it's been. So there's definitely a gap to fill, and I think Boba Fett's a great character to fill that gap, and I'm intrigued by that. I know they were talking about the Cara Dune spinoff being a possibility with her and Bo-Katan.
If you give if it's a like a band of characters banding together, that'd be great. But I gotta be honest, I have no interest in watching just a Cara Dune series. It has nothing to do, by the way, with Gina Carano's political beliefs. I can't believe the amount of sites, supposed proven quality Star Wars podcasts and or sites that rip her to shreds just because of her political beliefs. It's like, can we maybe focus on, the story and the character, etc., instead of picking apart someone's personal beliefs just because they don't
I care
align
about
with
Cara
yours?
Dune, not Gina Carano.
Exactly.
But I mean, I think Boba Fett's a great character to tell that interim story, and I'm just gonna say that even though this article says it's gonna film first, which obviously if it's starting to film next week, would be first, that there's still no guarantee we'll see it first. Just that it's being filmed first.
The belief is from what I've looked into, is that we would see this first, and I want to touch on that in a second. But before we do, let's get to the guy who is trying to keep his cool over here. Kieran, your thoughts, your unfiltered, uncensored thoughts.
What the fuck has Boba Fett ever done to deserve a show?
He looked cool.
He's a fucking action figure. That's what he is.
Isn't that all of Star Wars?
What are they gonna tell? He's
Tusken Raider Boba Fett.
Now what they have to tell is what happened between getting eaten by a Sarlacc and fucking losing his eyebrows. He looks like a fucking hobo right now. Like,
cool hobo.
So, what could he have done in between?
Shaved.
The problem is, the only reason we would get a Boba Fett series is because people like Boba Fett, so they're going to make him... I know, you know what I know? I know that in between, I know that since Din Djarin killed a crate dragon, I know that Boba Fett is going to kill an entire fucking planet of crate dragons now. I bet Boba Fett fucking kills the biggest bad guy and the biggest good guy in the universe. I bet he fucking they go back to when he invented the Millennium Falcon. I bet they go back to when he actually trained Darth Vader in the Force. They probably fucking go back to when he fucking... honestly, you know what? It's all going to happen, and he's going to take his hat off, and it's going to be fucking George Lucas under there. And he's going to be like, I created this whole shit. I'm God. And they'll find out that Mandalorians actually follow the code because Boba Fett made it up because he's actually a god.
Okay, so I think if I've learned anything in the last 5 minutes of Kieran's rant is that we can now officially confirm the identity of Super Shadow.
Right? Oh, that's going back. Oh. And I mean, Thaden's heavy into Star Wars, and he's giving me a look like he doesn't know who that is.
Who?
Oh, man. Just do me a favor.
I'm just going to be like,
tonight,
you young child.
Google Super Shadow and enjoy.
Indeed.
I'm
oh,
a
my
little worried
God.
about
It's Star Wars
It's
related.
Star Wars.
Oh,
it's
my.
100% Star
well,
Wars.
it can be Star Wars, but...
Okay, it's...
No, I feel like it probably isn't weird. Well, it might be a little weird, but not that kind of weird.
Yeah, it's not that kind of weird. It's more like the people actually...
It's not that kind of weird. It's just sexual, yeah.
I mean, maybe for some people it might have been.
Anything is if you try hard enough.
Oh, man. Yeah,
I don't know what's happening this episode.
I'm curious to know, does that include ice cream?
Well, yeah.
Here's the thing. So... the reason why I hate Boba Fett and Darth Maul is because
we got time to get to the Darth Maul parts.
They are not good characters, and they got brought back alive because people thought they looked cool.
I love listening to him talk about this. I kind of agree with him, but I'm fine with the characters.
They're really good selling action figures, so they brought them back together after being lame as shit. And then made them really cool.
Isn't that like 90%? Isn't that like 90% of being a great Star Wars character? How many toys you can sell?
I mean, let's be honest. Kylo Ren's look is half inspired by Darth Vader and Darth Revan. So,
yeah, it's definitely a combination of those.
Yeah.
No,
I
you're
like
lying.
it.
Darth
I like
Revan's
it,
not
but it
relevant
is.
to Star
But
Wars.
he's a great character with a lot of
Except
depth.
for products.
Oh, now we stop talking while I take my hat off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depth? Hold on.
Sean, what would you like to say?
Referring to Kylo Ren
I
when we used to
I
phrase
could go on for the rest of the show if you like.
We're gonna get Tommy's take
Oh,
on.
we like fucking people with face paint. Fucking piece of shit. Let's make a Star Wars character that looks like he went to a Slipknot concert.
Oh my god. We're gonna get Tommy's take on the shows in general, but this is one thing I wanted to bring up to you guys. It's become very clear, and I don't know if you guys watched the making of the Mando series. What was that called again? The 8-episode making of
The gallery thing?
Disney Galleries. Yeah.
Yeah.
It became really clear to me, anyways, while watching that, and to a lot of other people online, that the turnaround time for these shows is nowhere close to what it is for a movie because of the stagecraft technology, because so much of it happens in pre-production. You know, what they do in post is literally finishing touches. It's not like they're shooting on the stagecraft. It's like, oh, hey, this looks like PS2 graphics or something. So I have a feeling, and maybe I'm jumping ahead of myself here, that we're going to see a lot more Star Wars. Thaden alluded to it earlier. A lot more Star Wars TV shows, a lot quicker than we originally thought. And let's be honest, Disney Plus needs some new content. So, you know, I can see the Boba Fett limited series. I can see the Leslie Headland series. Oh, I think we lost Tommy.
Certainly sounds like it.
Yeah. The question is, are we good with the stream? We are good with the stream.
Sounds like a track.
I think Tommy might be back. Nope. Tommy's not back.
I hope that the series is as limited as Tommy's Day today.
So
20 minutes of yelling.
Tommy had a freezer malfunction. He needed to take care of it.
Right. I think there's a legitimate chance we get a lot of turnaround here, guys. I think you see Mando season 3. You got the Kenobi series, which has already started filming exteriors, and they'll get the main filming in March. You have this Boba Fett limited series. You have the Leslie Headland. Is that how you say her name?
Yes, I don't know.
The series
Johnny
that's
says
there was some news about that today, that it's more of a geographical Star Wars show, not necessarily where it takes place in the timeline, but what areas of space they travel to.
I'm sorry, but that just gave me like the greatest idea for like a National Geographic style Star Wars show that I think could be like super amazing.
I want to see Master Chef in Star Wars.
Just watch.
I know that's not related.
Just watch Favreau's show Chef. I mean, it's close. It's fucking brilliant.
What does that have to do
He
with
does
Star
voice
Wars?
more than one Mandalorian.
Yes, he does. We do have a Tommy B back. Before we get Tommy B's thoughts on the TV shows overall, am I going a little too far here, guys? Or is there a chance over the next couple of years we see several Star Wars TV series?
I actually think you're totally right because of that, but also the Star Wars shows that they've put, the 2 seasons so far, and they're starting a new one with Mandalorian, have done extremely well. They've done like better streaming than anything. Like, it's really good, so I think they're probably going to go all in on that. We also have The Bad Batch, which I just remembered. That's a thing that's coming out, though it's not live action. That is another Star Wars show.
And we know there's another animated show in the works, too.
Yeah.
It's believed we have a Thrawn and Ezra show in the works as well, an
Little
Ahsoka
sequel.
show in the works. I have a feeling that basically we're going to see Star Wars year-round on Disney Plus, and kind of like The Walking Dead is now. But I know I haven't watched Walking Dead in a while.
I don't
but
love Walking Dead, but I do love the Star Wars idea.
I'm totally okay with, hey, here's 8 episodes of one series, maybe a little bit of behind the scenes, and then the next series, a bit of behind the scenes, and the next series, and just run it around the clock. Tommy, we have you back, dude. Are we being too positive? Is there a chance we get several Star Wars TV shows in the next couple
Sean,
years?
I'll tell you, I really hope that the optimism is justified when we get the results. Me personally, I'm a little nervous. I don't want them necessarily pushing out, stinkers. If it were up to me, I feel like the Ahsoka series and the Ezra and Thrawn series would be combined into one series of like a Game of Thrones style thing. You jump between the different parties on a smaller scale, and they would eventually meet up for an end game.
That'd be awesome. I'd be for that.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that's what I think, but I don't think that's what the direction they're going to go with it.
Oh, so now
I
you're
am a
hating.
little nervous if they're doing too much at once, but I got to say, if we did end up in a position where we were getting Star Wars, live action or not, year round, that'd be a freaking beautiful thing that I think very well, let's be real, it's the Star Wars fan, and we're going to hate it anyway, but a lot of us would love it. A lot of us would love it. I would be one of them, as long as they're not pushing quantity over quality. You got to wait a two.
Well, I mean, a lot of this has been in the works for a long time. It also might make the wait for the next movie more endurable. I know people are so excited to, hey, 2023, we're going to get another movie. I wouldn't be surprised if that date becomes 2024. And not because of these shows, but because of what happened with the pandemic and everything.
Honestly, if these series they end up spitting out there do well enough, it's like, movie? Yeah, I mean, whatever. I will defend the fact that I think The Mandalorian is one of the best things that Star Wars has had going for it in years. I'll put Mandalorian in front of any film of the sequel trilogy. I know that's probably maybe a hot take to some, but that's just me.
I don't think it's The Force Awakens good, but it's close. Let's move on to the last piece of news here today, and that's another one of Kieran's favorite topics. Is it has been revealed again? I mean, we've slowly gotten some details about this stuff. What George Lucas's sequel trilogy would have looked like overall. You'll notice that Han Solo is absent from this because it's on record of George saying that he thought that Harrison wouldn't come back. So Han Solo is not mentioned in any of this, but in a nutshell, the whole reason Lucas brought Darth Maul back to life was not just for the Clone Wars, but to lead up for him to be the main villain in the sequel trilogy, which would span across 20 years through 3 movies. Basically, you start off with just Luke. Leia ends up being the chosen one, but that's never really explained. It's Maul and Talon. Leia ends up the Supreme Chancellor at the end, and basically it's a trilogy about the criminal underworld that Maul has come up, and I mean, I guess you could say Solo sort of goes this route, but it becomes much bigger to the point where it's the criminal underworld that's controlling things in the galaxy. And I gotta be honest, even though it's not super well fleshed out and we're missing a bunch of details, I find this idea really, really intriguing. Since I know Kieran will probably be the longest on this topic, we'll save him for last. Thaden, what do you think, man? Would you have liked to have seen this?
I'd like to see it, but I'd like to see the sequels we got more. I like those movies. But I don't know. This has interesting stuff in it. I don't like crime as a villain nearly as much as I like stuff like the First Order or the Empire. I find that like much more intriguing, especially for a whole trilogy that's supposed to be impacting the galaxy. I do like the idea that he's kind of trying to make it something that's like a big, giant, galaxy-wide problem, it sounds like. But I don't know. It's not the most appealing thing to me. And as much as I do like Darth Maul, which is actually, he's pretty great, as he's probably looking at me pretty mad about saying that. I like that he died when he did. I don't think he should have kept going without Obi-Wan there. I think he needs him as part of his story.
Obi-Wan just comes back from the dead and kills him again.
Yeah, that would be fun, actually. I'd be cool with that.
Johnny, your thoughts on this, man?
I'm more intrigued in what's going on over here.
I was worried about it.
No, I mean, I think it's both intriguing and not intriguing at the same time, because it's, for me, the original trilogy, you had the oppression, the overlords as the villains, and then the prequels, you had the shadows were your villains. With Palpatine pulling the strings from behind the curtain as the ultimate evil that's behind everyone. He's not the guy that's out in front, but he's the guy that's behind. He's the puppet master. And I think if we had a sequel trilogy that was that again, with the crime syndicate now instead of Palpatine, it's too similar. It doesn't work for me because that's too similar to the prequels, if that makes sense. In that sort of way that, that Thaden alluded to, having different types of enemies as, your overarching villain. The prequel trilogy, you had the Shadows, and then you had the Oppression, and then the third one you had in the sequel trilogy you had that sort of last grasp at oppression.
It's sort of like a combination too.
Exactly, and that's an extremely good analogy, that you had that elements of both. You still had Palpatine behind the shadows pulling the strings that we didn't know he was pulling, and then while doing it with the Empire First Order as the fist, the hammer. So it's the combination of the two, but I don't know how good it would have been. But at the same time, I can't sit here and say it's a bad idea, because really, I'm sorry, Thaden, but anything probably would have been better than what we got, because of the fact that it was so disjointed. Having George Lucas sit there as the big man in the chair, he would have been the control that kept the stories from going off the rails, which is what the sequel trilogy inevitably did, because you had, I don't want to say 3 different people, but really that's what it was. You had JJ's first run, and then you had Ryan, and then you had JJ's second run, and none of it made sense. You can't even really tie 9 to 7 as, a direct sequel, because it's not, because you still have to deal with 8. So the threads aren't there. Whereas George, I'm an unabashed prequel hater. I really am. But I will always give credit where credit is due, that 1, 2... It's probably not a good idea to use that when I'm actually about to give the sequel trilogy some props.
The sequel trilogy?
The prequel trilogy. Yeah.
Good job.
There's somebody in that crowd saying boo earns. I know it.
I was saying boo earns.
The one thing about the prequel trilogy that I will always give it props for is that 1, 2, 3 tells an extremely controlled story. Like it flows. The sands of time flow through those stories in such a way that you can clearly see things from 1 pay off in 3 that are alluded to in 2, and it works as a trilogy the same as the original trilogy does, which is the exact opposite of what the sequel trilogy does, because there's no ties that bind. I mean, the ties that bind to the characters, and even they aren't the same character. I mean, the Rey from 7 is not the Rey from 9, which is definitely not the Rey from 8. So,
all right, I gotta cut you off, or else we're gonna go on for 2 years here. Thaden, I know you wanted to get in there.
Yes,
at least it looked like it.
I did. I think you have a good point about the sequels, and I was just thinking about, I feel like maybe each sequel movie kind of ties up its own loose ends, like a little too much, so that having the 3 of them doesn't always, they don't flow together completely, because they are each kind of individual movies,
which is weird. Whose grandfather is the Emperor?
Stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. I like those movies, but yeah, they do have that problem. I think a lot of people see, and I like it, but yeah, I don't know.
I think they were trying. I mean, I don't know if they were intentionally trying this, but I think they were hoping that they would basically pull off what the Dark Knight trilogy did, how they're sort of their own movies, but combined together for a trilogy.
Yeah,
and it just doesn't hold a candlestick to the Dark Knight trilogy, and that's all.
Even as bad as the third Dark Knight movie.
I like the third one. I love it.
It's awful.
It's amazing.
Thank you. Great. I love Dark Knight Rises. Absolutely.
Okay, let me just gather up all the Bane source material I can find, light it on fire, and then piss on it.
Oh boy, here we go.
Did.
You don't need it. It's a retelling.
Kieran, Maul is the main villain in Lucas's story.
Okay.
Focus your hate on Maul, not Bane.
This is an easy one. This is an easy one because George Lucas is full of shit.
Oh my.
George Lucas.
That's the show, everybody.
We're done here, folks.
George Lucas, this is what he thought of this week and gave it to the news. He's like, oh yeah, the whole thing was based on Darth Maul, and he was gonna be the coolest guy, and the whole thing. Honestly, I'm pretty sure that we've heard lots of different things about what he wanted to do with lots of different movies, and they're different all the time. It's like talking to your grandpa who has kind of lost it a little bit, And you're like, and he's like, oh yeah, back when I was in World War One, and it's like, Grandpa, you were only 9 when World War One happened. Like, honestly,
an old grandpa.
All the stuff that I have heard that George Lucas wanted to do, or like he's upset about how the sequels went. Like they're all like, when you hear about his plans for any of it, it's always different. I'm pretty sure he just has a new idea all the time and always thinks that he thought of it forever ago, even though it was
Maybe
actually...
he did and it just popped up again.
Yeah, like honestly, his plans for the sequels were lots of fucking things.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure I like the way that Kieran just spoke about the Maker, but boy, that was one hell of an impression of him when you were doing the voice. I'm like,
He hasn't done that on this show
So,
yet.
yeah, that's George. That's George.
It's really good.
For a while on our show, at the end, we just had a soundbite of me going, "Oh, that's hilarious."
That's, of course, George Lucas talking about Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
Wow. Tommy, close this one out for us, man. Darth Maul, main villain of George Lucas's sequel trilogy, or in Kieran's opinion anyway, one of George Lucas's 20 sequel trilogies. So what do you think?
Look, I saw episode 1 in the theaters when it came out. Not the day it came out, because I was only like 4 or 5 or whatever, but it was the first Star Wars film I saw in a theater. Since then, Maul's had a special place in my heart, my fandom, what have you. And I love what they did with him in the EU. And I love what they did with him in the current canon. I would have loved to have seen Maul as the principal protagonist of the sequel trilogy, much more than what we ended up getting, to be totally honest with you. But I'm a little bit hearing all this stuff, Lucas coming out saying, well, this could have been an idea, this could have been an idea, there's so many different ideas, there's so much coming out there. I just got to say, honestly, I don't know if I really care at this point. I mean, the franchise got sold.
You're right.
So
for better or for worse, it did.
For better or for worse, it was the end of an era many, 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 many moons ago. And with that sailed all those ideas.
Yeah.
So,
no, you're right.
That's what I have to say about that. We got folks out there now getting confused. Are we getting another sequel trilogy? Are we going to be seeing Darth Maul come back to life again?
First of all, I wouldn't rule that out,
No.
20 years from now, if they decide to go back and go, you know what, let's do sequels to the
Another
original
canon
trilogy.
reset, because why the fuck not?
It's the popular thing to do in Hollywood right now. Think about all the franchises doing that right now. There's a ton. Doesn't mean it's erased. It just means it's another timeline, like what they did with Legends. I still consider Legends things as stuff that happened. Just you either go through door left, which is the Legends EU, or door right, which is the Disney EU. They're all stories that still exist in this realm. By the way, I've added Tommy to our main window here. He's just very small. He's down in Johnny's. He looks like he's a pop on Johnny's desk. So it's quite cute. Alrighty. Let's keep this ball rolling, guys. What do we want to do next? Do we want to do countdown? Or do we want to do... or do we want to do...
Did I get the aim right there? I was kind of freeballing there.
Well, now he's in a different area.
Well, that's not cool.
Can you just bounce him up and down so Johnny's like, through the legs? Woo!
Oh, man.
That would be good.
Do we want to do the top 5 countdown next, or do we want to get to the Mando review?
I say top 5.
Yeah, I'd say top 5
Let's
first.
do 5.
Okay.
Apparently, it's time for the light speed countdown. By the way, I'd like the record to show that Tommy, when I randomly switched to your screen at some point when Kieran was doing his tangent about Boba Fett, and all I seen was you digging into this all the audience seen was you digging into this massive tub of ice cream.
Oh, you saw that.
Oh, everybody saw
Oh,
that.
you saw that, did you? Oh.
Sean made a point
I
of
promise
taking
it
his.
wasn't filled. I was finishing it.
He made a point of
Did you
taking his
start eating
headphones off and being like, "Dude, Tommy's eating ice cream."
Did you start eating it at the beginning of the show? Is that why
My
it wasn't
wife
full?
brought it in about 10, 15
The
minutes.
important question. I'm sorry, but the important question is,
That's
what
great.
flavor was the ice cream?
That is important.
Mint chocolate chip.
That is acceptable.
Acceptable, yeah.
The best would have been if you saw it on camera and like timed it up to ask him a question right when he like took a bite. What? Darth Maul would be great.
Wait, was that me? Was that me? Oh God,
No.
that's terrible.
What?
What?
That was Tommy
the
eating
impression was
ice
Tommy.
cream. Clearly.
It
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
just you talking.
All right.
You should have done a mouthful Tommy doing, well, I guess I'll just go fuck myself.
As a tear runs down his cheek and he
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's
Bucket of
top
ice
5
cream.
countdown
Yes.
time. The way this works is we give our 5, 4, 3 around the table here, and then we come back with the 2 and the 1. I have to stress to everybody on the table today, though, please keep the countdown brief. It's meant to be a very brief segment. I'll kick things off, then Johnny, Kieran, Thaden, and then Tommy. You do have a top 5, right, Tommy?
That is correct.
All right. So my number 5 is Jango Fett, because I came up with this list at a whim as we were sitting here with a blue highlighter. But that's not the only reason I needed the highlighter. My number 4 is Kieran's favorite character, Boba Fett. And my top 3 are actually all real. My number 3 is Calo Nord. So I got Calo Nord coming in at 3. What do you got, Johnny?
All right. My number 5 is Boba Fett. And my number 4 is Jango Fett, so just flip-flop yours. And my number 3 is Asajj.
Asajj. I like that name. Asajj. Asajj.
Does she count as a bounty hunter?
Yeah, she was for a bit.
She
Oh,
was. Yeah.
actually, yes, she does become a bounty hunter later. That's right. Okay.
When she's pissed off.
We're going in a circle here.
I see Kieran
Yes.
Kieran coming into Johnny's shot. It's yeah.
What are you doing, man?
Oh god.
Stay out of my shot.
I think a few people were
Get out of
confused
mine.
earlier if we were all in the same place or not.
Yeah, well.
I think that confirms it.
We aren't.
We are in the same location.
My number 5 is Dengar. My number 4 is Bosk. And my number 3 is Calo Nord.
Nice.
Love the Doctor Who on your list. It's great.
We both had Nord at 3. Nice.
Yeah.
What you got, Thaden?
There's my list. My number 5 is Embo. He's got a cool hat. My number 4 is Dirge. He kicks ass.
I remember Dirge.
Yeah, he's really cool. And my number 3 is Mando from Mando. I know we don't see him bounty hunting a lot, but he's
I was gonna say-
a cool bounty hunter.
Well, we've seen him bounty hunt, once or twice? Twice, I think.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's
At least
enough.
once, and it's badass.
Well, I mean, we do know from this episode that he does have more bounties to his name. So
I still say he's a bounty hunter. He's
I don't
just
think this
not
is like the
doing
top, like who we think is like the best at being a bounty hunter. This is our favorite
Yeah,
bounty
agreed.
hunter characters, right?
Agreed.
And
I mean,
he
my
is-
it. He's
Yeah.
not in my
Bold,
top 2
but-
anyways.
yeah,
Anywho, Tommy. I think.
Yep. What you got, Tommy?
So we're doing 5 through 3.
correct.
My number 5 came in with Bosk. My number 4 came in at, and I should footnote, mostly in the EU, Aura Singh. And my number 3 came in at, Din Djarin Mando.
Din Djarin. Am I the only one that probably doesn't have him on the list?
You're not.
Oh, okay. My number 2 is Cad Bane, because he's Cad Bane, and fuck, what a nice hat.
I like that.
And my number 1 is Talon Card. Not only did he do some bounty hunting, but he actually ran the Bounty Hunters Guild in the EU and was honestly one of the most integral parts of the Thrawn trilogy.
I tend to forget. I don't think of Talon as a bounty hunter. For me, he's a pirate, so he's not on my list. But still a good. He's acceptable and a great character. My number 2, I'm coming out of left field. It's the Old Republic player character.
I was actually going to do that.
Because that is far and away my favorite of all of the story classes in the Old Republic.
I didn't remember.
It's a
enough of it to do
creative
it.
choice.
Because you get to live through all these things that are so entrenched in Mandalorian history, and you get to go through the Great Hunt and become Mandalore and hunt Mandalore, and it's amazing.
It's cool.
Okay?
Yeah,
It is
I
pretty
like it.
damn cool.
I haven't played the game. Thanks for fucking spoiling it.
You're welcome.
There's 8 stories.
So just pick another player class.
I mean, there, in a way, there's kind of like 16
Yeah, there's
stories.
also more.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be a bounty hunter anyway because they've.
Bounty Hunter is amazing.
Anywho,
And my number one is because he's got an amazing hat, Cad Bane.
Nice.
I like this.
Some love for Cad.
Yeah.
Yeah. My number 2 is Jango Fett, which is gonna be a little bit surprising, but I think that I really enjoy the scene where he's trying to take out Kenobi, and I mean he's obviously so good that they made like a million clones of him. Everybody in Clone Wars is him. So
All right, now you're going to curveball us all, and your number one's going to be Boba Fett.
okay, my number 1 is not Boba Fett because he's fucking stupid. He got beat by a blind man.
Yeah, accidentally.
Fucking eaten by a giant worm.
I don't like you anymore.
He didn't get beaten by a... Okay, the blind man had
No, I said
luck.
he got eaten, but
You
Oh,
said he
beaten?
got beaten by a blind man. And
He did not get eaten.
yeah,
by
he
Han Solo.
he got hit by a guy who's blind.
with a lucky
and-
shot.
With
He bumped into him.
nobody is gonna hit me, let alone a blind man.
So why would you
It's
be
pretty
focusing
damn
on the
funny.
blind man?
Next
then?
time you see a blind man on the street with one of those walking sticks, ask him to hit you and see if he can do it.
Depends on how good he is. I mean, he might very well be able to. From the fact I asked him to hit me, he'd know where I'm standing.
I'd get it out of the way. I'd move. If I was fucking good at my job, I wouldn't get beat
There
by
was a
blind
lot
man.
of other things going on at that moment.
Yeah, he was probably not even like he was just fucking
And he
like
wasn't.
You're predicating being hit
wasn't
by a
even-
blind
yeah.
man by walking up to him on the street and saying, "Hi, hit me." Okay, whereas what really happens is we're actually in like a mosh pit at a concert going crazy and you get hit by a blind man.
the mosh pit was a fucking skiff with like 3 people on it.
And one of them is Luke freaking Skywalker.
He wasn't looking at
Sorry
either
for
of
those
them.
of you who like Boba Fett. Tommy.
Honestly, I think the whole time he was like, "Oh, I wonder how much sand is out there."
Why would he be focusing
Like, and
on
then
the
he
blind guy
fucking
who
got
just
hit by
accidentally
it.
bumps into
Like
him?
he wasn't paying attention at all. Like he wasn't even looking at the battle. I don't think he was. Now that I think of it,
So-
I think he's actually not even looking
He's
at.
facing the barge.
I don't
but
think-
not Han.
Yeah.
So
Anywho.
yeah. Who was your 2 and 1?
Boba Fett is his
Number
one.
2 was Django. and
Anyways,
his
my
number
number
one-
two.
My number one is Cad Bane because
Nice.
he's fucking awesome.
He wears a great
I
hat.
didn't
I
expect
recently
this much
just-
Cad Bane love.
I recently just watched the
Obi-Wan.
undercover Kenobi.
So
arc.
good.
It's
It's
just
awesome.
it's fucking awesome. And
All the Cad Bane ones.
yeah,
are
everything
awesome.
with Bane, everything with Cad Bane in it's awesome. He's a
He needs
fucking
to come
great
back.
character. He's a great voice, and he fucking outsmarts lots of people. And like, yeah, even the undercover thing, he was keen and questioning, like, well, who the fuck is this guy? Like, I swear a lot on this episode.
You do.
Fucking-
He's really worked up.
I got jacked up on
noticed
Timmy's,
that.
and I'm fucking yeah.
I mean, I realize where we got that Timmy's. Is there maybe something in there that shouldn't be?
Oh, yeah, I
God.
got this from the crack Timmy's.
What's all that white stuff on the top?
I don't think that was milk they put in your Timmy's, bro.
What do you got, Thane?
I'm gonna go to the hospital.
My number 2 is, I guess I don't like him as a character more. I kind of did do this as bounty hunter. Bosk. He's pretty cool. I don't know. He's got some cool stuff in Clone Wars. I like him.
He's green.
Yeah, he's green. He's
He
a
also
lizard
wears
guy.
a Doctor Who costume, so it's okay.
It's good. And then my number 1 is Cad Bane, because look at that goddamn hat. That's
Valid.
it. There's a lot more, but yeah.
There's
I
a
think we
scene-
touched on
Important
it.
reason is that hat.
There's a line in that
it
arc
is.
where someone says, like, is that Cad Bane? They're like, look, he's wearing that hat. Like,
Who else wears that hat?
Who else wears that hat? Yeah.
I want that Cad Bane hat just
Yeah.
because. Like,
And when he's looking through like a pawn shop they have there, and he's like,
They have
"Oh, look
Indiana
at the
Jones
hat."
hat there.
forget walking through a door because you're too tall. Now you got to worry about, is my hat too large?
You should get a hat that's tall and wide.
Tommy,
Anyways.
finish us off, baby.
That's like a Bugs
That's
Bunny
a sombrero. Sorry, Tommy, go ahead.
So my number 2, I also came in at Cad Bane. I will admit I wasn't always a fan of the character. I have grown an appreciation for him over the years.
Okay, can I?
I'm
Sorry,
really
I don't mean to
disappointed
cut you
with how
off. But what is wrong with all you haters always hating on Star Wars stuff? Like, literally, am I the only positive Star Wars fan here in this room? All you guys have done tonight is
Sean,
hate.
excuse me. We're about to talk about Mando, which is so exciting.
Sorry, Tommy. Go ahead.
He's had too much
You're
of his
the least
haterade.
positive Star Wars fan I
He's
know.
confused. He's confused.
Hang on.
by
Let
his
me
own haterade.
let me
We're in the
do
upside down.
what's appropriate because this is about how well that joke went. All right. Go ahead, Tommy.
Cad Bane. They
Whoa! Timeout. I just switched to the shot of the five of us, and Kieran's head comes up from. Oh. All right, Tommy.
Okay, for
I'm
real
done.
this time,
I'm
Tommy.
done.
Okay, take 3. Cad Bane is pretty great. They introduced him to Clone Wars, and he really never got the character development and overall treatment that he really deserved. We don't even know what ended up happening to him down the line. It's rather unfortunate. He
so
ends up
sad.
disappearing after the Clone Wars. Maybe he retires, maybe whatever.
Too old for this shit.
My number one, much to the hate, will and is always going to be Boba Fett. He was great in the EU. He was great when they introduced him. And honestly, I have a feeling, just deep down, the direction they're going to go with him in, as they redevelop his character in this canon, I think he's going to be more bounty hunter than Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I would love him to be Mandalorian. I would love it because if I remember correctly, in the towards his latter appearances in the old canon, he was actually Mandalore.
Yes,
Wouldn't be
he does.
surprised.
He does.
Yeah.
He does revive
But
the title.
things happen.
Legacy of the
and
Force.
He's actually exiled because of the
Yep.
Imperial
The virus.
sort of thing. Yep. They're going after clones.
We're getting too
But-
real here.
It's such a
But
good
look-
man. Anybody who hasn't read Legacy of the Force or listened to it, they need to. It's so good.
So whatever we see next with him, I have a feeling he's going to be more bounty hunter than Mandalorian. But I do think there's a good chance down the line that Mandalorian, tie may be established. But I don't think it's going to be the focus.
I'd like to see that.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for our countdown, which means it's time for the council. Johnny's getting hit with foreign objects.
How dare you, sir? That's a disqualifiable offense.
Is that what we're gonna? Is that how you're gonna screw me out of the Death Watch this week?
That's right. Negative 2
Let me
points.
reiterate what I said at the
We planned
beginning
it.
here. There's only one winner tonight, and his name's not Kieran, and it's not Tommy.
We'll see who.
I'm
gets
gonna
what
win?
category. We're gonna. Nobody's gonna. You guys are gonna get a collective 0 questions right, and
God, that'd be good.
Thaden and I are gonna win.
So, The Mandalorian, Chapter 10, Season 2, Episode 2 is out. The Passenger. And all I have seen online from most is a bunch of hate. So, I mean, let me go first. I thought this episode was fan-fucking-tastic. I think it was great. My issue with it is there's only 8 episodes in a season, and we didn't advance the story at all. Look, hey, there's a lot of people that for years bitched, whined, moaned, and bitched. Give me Star Wars live-action TV. Give me Star Wars live-action TV. Well, with live-action TV comes the odd filler episode. Problem is, I think I could deal with a filler episode if it was a 10-episode season. But when it's only 8, it's tough to swallow. That said, though, I think there's some big positives that come from this. Obviously, there's an overabundance of Baby Yoda in this episode. The 2 things that stood out the most for me was the mood and atmosphere of the episode.
I'm sorry, you mean boobs and atmosphere?
Yeah, that too. Shout out to Frank Riker. The mood and atmosphere was fantastic because it was the first time, in my opinion, Star Wars live action felt like a sci-fi horror movie for a bit. And I think they did a really good job of it. And the spiders, to follow, and I hate spiders, but I mean, again, you get the callback to Rebels, the callback to Knights of the Old Republic. Thank you very much. Like, they look, like, I will fight someone to the death right now. I'll probably lose with how terrible I've felt. Oh, no, he's grabbing the sledgehammer.
Practice.
Quickly, pass me that foam knife on the wall.
You're set. You're good.
So, for me, like, I thought the spiders looked fantastic. It was so good. Like, visually speaking, the episode was fucking stunning. So good. And I dig the adventure that happened. I just think it was a poor execution of time when you only have 8 episodes. Before you guys chime in, super chat from, hopefully I don't fuck this up, Lur Bradley. I believe this is your first time super chatting the channel. Thank you very much, man. It's appreciated for supporting the channel on that level. Fun fact, Talon's pets, Sturm and Drang, are a sidearm / hand cannon duel in Destiny 2.
I thought they were characters in Harry Potter.
Why not all 3?
Completely over my head. I'll take you at your word for it, though.
Yeah, that's cool. I got it. I don't know.
I didn't get any of that.
They're guns.
It's super chat, so I got to read it.
Are they
cool.
people guns?
They're named after.
Are they
guns,
like in
guns in Destiny 2 are
Rick
named
and-
after 2 people from Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you guys think of the episode? Like, for me, I'm pretty positive on it, but just, again, poor execution of time, visually stunning, and like the fact that Star Wars felt like a bit of a horror movie for a bit.
Well, I loved Alien, the Star Wars episode, because that's what it felt like.
Yep.
You know, and that's not a bad thing. But to me, it's tough for me to throw out the filler word, but it kind of is. To me, I look at it more of a roadblock episode. You know, because he was in pursuit of knowledge. So it did it pushed the story forward at a snail's crawl. Like, we have that dangling knowledge that this character has that, you know, we'll obviously get in the next episode, presumably, that will, you know, hopefully pay off. And then we can decide exactly how much of a filler this was by how important that knowledge is. You know, if it turns out to be a false lead, and I think then this is the epitome of a filler episode because it served no purpose to push forward the arc. But if it's big, then it could pay off in a big way that makes us rethink what this episode really was. But it was awkward. Like, I mean, I liked the callbacks, the nods, the head tilts, and like I said, it was a great Alien episode because that's what it felt like. But there were definitely some moments where I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Again. You know, I nitpick these things, and the big one I sat there watching, again, you know, last week you heard me critique, why not blow up the Bantha first, not last? Same critique this week. Why did we spend 10 minutes fighting through these caves and the outside, and then the ship, and then shooting down the ladder, then shooting into the cockpit to then use your flamethrower? Like, what are we waiting for? You're in an ice cavern, and you have a flamethrower. What are we doing here? What are we waiting for? These are spiders. Like, presumably, flames are bad to spiders, especially ice cave spiders. So why are we waiting until we get to the cockpit to use the flamethrower? Like, shouldn't that be the first thing you do and then slam the door shut? You know, flame them out and then slam the door, not wait for, you know, these little spider babies to get in and get on Baby
I mean, I
Yoda's
think that's
head?
semantics, though. I don't think this guy's supposed to be perfect. I think he's in a panic, and he's trying to get the hell out of there as quickly as he
but I
can.
mean, like, especially once you get to the door, and instead of like trying to slam it shut, and oh god, they're going to get through. Well, then you use the flamethrower if you're going to wait. Like, okay, maybe he's got limited fuel for the flamethrower, so he waited for the right moment, and that's fine. But
That's what I thought.
that moment is once you get to that final door, then you flame them out and slam that door shut, and that's it. Problem over. But we waited, and we waited, and we waited, we waited, we waited. And then they get through, and we find out that, you know, Frog Lady can shoot a pistol. And that's great. Why do I
forgot about that
care?
part.
You know, like that's not
Yeah, that seemed weird that they made that like a
exactly
oh my
like
God.
it's not that big a deal to me. Like, congratulations.
Fucking everyone's got a pistol. It's Star Wars.
Exactly. Like, I mean, my bigger concern was where did that pistol come from?
You know it.
All in all, though, when it comes down to it, would you give the episode? I mean, I don't want your grade yet, but was it acceptable or did they go too far off course?
I guess we'll find out at the end of the week once we find out what this information is this character has. Like that'll determine my final feelings on this episode. Because if, like I said, if the knowledge is nothing, then this was a waste of an episode. But if this is big knowledge, then it was perfectly fine because it pushed the narrative forward. But we won't know until we know what she knows.
Yeah.
Or I guess her husband, not her.
Yeah.
Kieran?
All right, Thaden, you want to? We'll both say what we thought of the episode.
I was actually
3.
thinking, okay.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1.
Hot
Shit.
trash. It sucked.
Oh my God!
Jesus Christ. This isn't a bit. It sucked.
I actually thought it was terrible.
Yeah.
And
This is a weird surprise, maybe.
we
but-
love everything, so it's really weird when we don't
It
love.
feels weird.
Yeah, this
something.
episode's backwards.
It's definitely the Bizarro World episode.
Like Imperial Remnant.
I mean,
This
anytime
podcast
you
show.
mention Maul and Fett, you'll get my.
That's true.
But yeah.
You talk first.
Honestly, there were things I did like about it. I liked the alien creature. I liked the whole idea of the eggs, and you couldn't go super fast, otherwise it would ruin them. And I thought that was cool. And I thought we were gonna go to like a really interesting, like, we would get one of those scenes that I love so much with all sorts of different aliens. Maybe if they went to like some sort of
Nar Shaddaa.
yeah, I don't know, Maz Kanata type, or Jabba the Hutt's Palace type thing. I thought we were gonna get a really cool sci-fi type episode. And instead what we got was Din Djarin really crappily running away from spiders for fucking ever. And, like, if you have 1 million spiders chasing you, you don't turn around and shoot 5 of them and then keep running, because that's really poor, like, idea. Like, if, it's the same thing as you're running away from zombies in Walking Dead. You don't turn around, shoot 1 of them when there's 10 of them coming after you. Like, you keep running, because slowing down to do anything that's going to do like almost nothing is a bad idea. Like, it didn't make sense the way that he did any of that. Just fucking get to the cockpit as quick as you can and then shut the door. And obviously that would have worked, because he wasted so much fucking time. It was dumb. And it went on forever. I was like, when are we going to get to the fireworks factory? Like, watching the Poochie episode in The Simpsons. Like, it just didn't make any sense that we did all that. Like it was like, oh, this and this happened, and we heard the Mandalorians might be here and whatever, and we crashed on a planet. It's like, oh man, how's he going to get out of this one? It's like, I know I was going to get out of it. 15 minutes of filler of running away from spiders. Like, honestly,
yeah, that's the thing that bothered me. He could have just taken off to get from the get-go.
Yeah, he
They
was
do
like,
that.
I hope this ship works. Like, did you test it earlier? You could have just fucking left.
Yeah, and it worked.
Oh my God.
So that's one thing.
It didn't make a lot of sense. And also, I thought it was really pointless that, like, he went on this thing, found Cobb Vanth. Oh, it wasn't a Mando. Oh, and he comes back and the lady's like, oh yeah, this fucking ant heard about Mandos.
Dr. Mandible.
He knows where they are. And it's like, well, how long were you holding on to this information? Don't you know this ant guy?
Well, we learned that no, she in fact didn't. She only met her like 5 minutes ago.
No, that's the fish.
No, that.
But I mean, maybe she didn't know
Yeah,
the ant guy.
But the ant guy, I don't know.
Yeah,
Dr.
I was
Mandible.
kind of
That's
okay
the
with
best
that,
part
but
of
it
the
is
episode.
weird.
The best part of the episode is that we got Dr. Mandible,
Yeah,
a giant
that's
ant man.
That
Yeah.
was just weird.
That was fucking awesome.
That was just weird.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that's
so-
the part that I'm like,
I
everything
loved it.
before the tag for me was just like, was this necessary?
Well,
Yeah.
that's how the whole episode felt.
Yeah, I don't know.
It,
You like the
basically,
pre-tag, I like the post-tag. We're just
It
like
seemed-
opposite parts.
it seemed
Together,
like the
we loved
tag.
the whole episode.
It seemed like terrible storytelling
Yeah.
to me.
Yep. It felt like it wasn't thought out like at all. They kind of just were like, let's do this. Now I guess we'll do this. And then let's do this. Basically, you start off with this scene where the bounty hunters catch Mando, kind of like trap him, whatever. And it has no bearing on anything. And then you find out, like, okay, so the mechanic lady knows someone who can get you to Mandalorian, but she vouches for her, so that's cool. And it's like, no, that's just a joke. She doesn't know her at all. So that wasn't relevant. And then they go there, and they just happen to get caught by some X-Wings, which is okay. I mean, they could have gotten caught by something. It seemed like it was likely the way they talked about it. But then the X-Wings wouldn't have even arrested him. The only reason there's a chase is because he ran, and then he crashes his own ship, falls into a pit, doesn't bother to try and fly again, and then the frog lady wanders away for no reason in an ice cave. Then they just happen to find some spiders, and then get chased back and fly away. And well, before they fly away, there's also the X-Wing guys just happen to stumble onto them just in the nick of time. And they save them from the spiders, but then leave them with a completely destroyed-looking ship. Like, what the fuck was the purpose of any of it? There's no one storyline that feels like it goes all the way through the episode and makes any sense. And Baby Yoda ate a bunch of babies, and there were no consequences, and they felt like there were going to be.
You know what I feel like? I feel like they went into a pitch meeting, and this person walked into the wrong room. They were supposed to be doing like an episode.
This isn't the meeting for the new Alien movie?
Yeah, and Everybody Loves Raymond episode. And then they were like, so what's your idea? And it was like, oh, so I thought. And then he looks around, sees the Star Wars posters. He's like, oh, shit.
I can see this now. You come in, you sit down.
He crashes and there's spiders.
They wander. The one guy takes a bath, but then there's spiders at the bath. And Baby Yoda, he eats one of the spiders, and then they're all mad somehow.
And then he's stalling. He's like, so they're getting away from the spiders, and he turns around and shoots the spiders, and then they run from the spiders. They get to
the ship, and then there's spiders on the ship.
Spiders.
And then the weird frog lady, she shoots one of the spiders, and then all the spiders leave for some reason.
They're all gone then.
Well, the flamethrower came after that.
The spiders.
Yeah, well, the logic of it is what bothers me, I guess.
Then they were trying to fly away, but the spiders tried to stop them, but then
giant spider lands on top of the ship, and they can't leave no more.
And then
suddenly that's just
and then those
done
other
again.
guys came and saved them from the spiders.
And they could have flown away the whole time.
That's it. That's the story. And they were like, I love it.
Yeah, it also, I touched on it a little bit. I did not like the egg thing. They say they're unfertilized, which is like, okay, it makes it much better than if they were fertilized.
Because he's not eating fertilized babies.
Yeah, but it's also really weird because they make a deal out of like, these are the last of my spawn. If I don't get these to hatch, like my line will die. And then Baby Yoda just starts chomping on him, and there's no consequences.
For the record,
I would have been fine with it if he did it.
I don't know
there should
who
be
I'm
consequences.
I don't know who I'm more upset with about that, Frog Lady or Din, because Frog Lady, these are the last of my spawn. I'm going to keep them.
That's true.
I'm going to keep them close to me personally.
Yeah.
Or Din, who knows that Baby Yoda will literally eat anything.
Yeah.
And leaves him unattended with them.
This
on
is
a
really
different floor of the ship.
Basically, my whole issue is just the writing felt like it was completely half-assed. Like they didn't think about anything they did. I don't think they were just like, let's do this. It'll be cool, and they just strung it together.
I said it before the show when we went on. You know, we're all lovely Canadian kids. Thaden's, of course, too young to remember these, but I said to Kieran and Sage, I don't know if you're paying attention, but Baby Yoda is the perfect example that now we can do a new "Don't Put It in Your Mouth" commercial with Baby Yoda for the lovely Canadian viewers who get that.
Put it in your mouth.
Oh, I've heard that.
Don't you stop it in your
All right,
face.
so we're gonna let Tommy close off the episode, but before we do, are you guys done?
Yes.
Never.
Hating on something that you liked?
All right. So I'm going to take a moment here.
I've never experienced that before.
And I'm going to ask the audience and the hosts here in the house who are in my humble home here, who I enjoy having over, to not take anything I'm about to say too personally.
Let's look for stuff to throw at him.
All righty. I've been
not
making a list as you guys have been going on.
I saw you writing stuff and hitting yourself with the binder.
Okay. Terrible storytelling?
Yep.
Are you fucking kidding me?
There was no story.
Did you pay attention to the sequel trilogy at all?
Yep.
I
loved them.
There's no story. There's none. They make it up as they go. They have no idea what fucking story they're telling. They have
Okay, if that's true, which it kind of is, I'll say, like, I think it's kind of true, and other people obviously think it is more. Each individual movie has an individual story to tell. This episode has like 7 stories to tell, and they're all shit.
He probably would have liked it better if there was spiders.
There's individual stories in the movies. Yeah, no, point taken. I mean, The Last Jedi is complete and utter dog shit, and The Rise of Skywalker, again, subjective. Everything you hear on this show is subjective. If you guys love the episode, hate the episode, love the sequel trilogy, hate the sequel trilogy, completely your prerogative. But like The Rise of Skywalker, what story does it tell other than, oh, quickly, we gotta fix what we fucked up. Oh no, fire Colin Trevorrow, he's out. Let's bring J.J. Abrams in.
It's a weird.
That
one's weird. I don't
Oh
defend
my
that
god.
one nearly
Okay,
as much.
so, and I'm like,
That one does feel like it has a bunch of random stories, and that is a
and
detriment
I mean,
to it.
not well thought out sort of goes into that because
Yeah.
that's the sequel trilogy as a whole. Half-ass writing.
Yep.
The Last Jedi is, I believe you said, your favorite movie, and we're going to
yeah.
talk about half-ass writing.
Yes.
As a Star Wars fan,
writing's amazing in
I
that
find
movie.
that completely insulting to the core. While I think Rian Johnson's an excellent writer, I think he is by far the worst person to ever write any Star Wars material, period, and that includes the holiday special. He has no idea what Star Wars language is. Like, watch The Last Jedi and pick it apart word for word.
Yeah, it's great.
and
There's
then-
plenty of like cool foreshadowing. The way they choose their words is all really great.
But
and,
the-
like, it's
all of a
interesting.
sudden-
I'll give you as a whole hating on it, but I don't think anything is worse than Anakin's sand speech.
I think that's delivery in bad direction, to be honest.
I think it's bad, right?
It's bad writing.
It's,
Yep.
It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
I
like, tell me how you would deliver that line any better. Like,
so I
I
mean,
don't like sand. It's actually
by the way,
sand. It's
the-
broken down pieces of rock.
Obi-Wan couldn't have delivered that line properly.
the whole
No one.
the whole they could have taken off to begin with. Don't forget, he made repairs to the ship, and he gets
Yeah, and he
interrupted
could
when.
have taken off after
Well,
he
the
made those
problem was
repairs.
The frog lady ran away.
Well, they would have taken off without what's her face. So
They did already say they were gonna leave her.
Your argument
is
there,
pretty
in my
shitty
opinion, is
writing.
invalid.
They did already say they were gonna leave.
Yeah, but then he found Baby Yoda eating the eggs.
Oh, okay, that was my next point.
That's bad.
That was my next point. First of all, he's a fucking baby.
No, I'm not mad at Baby Yoda.
He's
about
a
that.
baby. You know what babies do? Oh, you
Yeah,
know what?
exactly.
This looks great. Let me just stick this in my
But-
mouth here.
but you're arguing something I didn't say at this point.
I'm
I'm mad at the writing for having no consequences.
Hey, it's not
for
just
that.
the people in this room. Go online. People are like, just, it's almost like their heart is broken that Baby Yoda ate Frog Lady's eggs. And it's like, he's a baby.
Yeah.
You know
no,
what Jensen probably
that's
did 30
okay
minutes
in
ago?
a
Stick
way.
something in his mouth.
Yeah. There should have been consequences,
I
though.
hope it
shouldn't
wasn't
have just been
a
a gag that
baby
he's
egg.
eating children.
What kind of consequences, though? He's a baby.
I don't know. Maybe the mother finds out who was right there the whole fucking
Didn't you
episode.
think that? Didn't you think she? Okay,
I felt like she was going to have a count of the eggs, and then she didn't.
Yeah,
and
it
I was
seems
disappointed.
important to know how
I-
many children you
I
have.
disagree with that. Well, I mean, I don't disagree with that part. Just to be clear.
Jade's probably online.
Can you get that blue rod out of your mouth? Yes, it's out. Sorry, honey. Alrighty. Look, at the end of the day, at the end of that episode, I think she does know that the eggs are gone. She literally looks at Baby Yoda and clinches the container tighter. I don't know if you don't remember
She
seeing
doesn't
that.
get mad though. She just
Well,
like,
what's she gonna?
no
What's
more eating my
What's she gonna
children."
do? Attack the baby and
someone-
Mando blast her in
If
the
someone
head?
ate your child, would you be okay with it?
I mean, this sounds extreme, but if Jensen
Uh-oh.
ate Johnny's cat, and Johnny went to do something to Jensen, I'd kill him on the spot, even though Jensen clearly shouldn't have eaten the cat.
I think the cat would put up a fight of its own.
Probably, more or less.
It's a cat we're talking about here.
My favorite fuck cats. My favorite
Fuck cats. We can agree on that. Fuck cats.
my favorite part though about this is, and this is why the show works, is we don't all have the same fucking opinion.
Yeah, no, I
The
like that.
opinions espoused.
I
belong
like
only
hearing
to
why
the
you guys
person
liked it, too.
spousing it.
that is the
Yeah.
best. That is the best part of this show.
Yeah.
You need variety, or else it's like, oh, hey, everybody loves it. Oh, hey, everybody hates it. Good show. Adios. Now,
I think the stuff you said is good too. Like, maybe not everything, but like, it looks good. And like, I disagree with you on some stuff, but the episode does look really good. And the way the action shot looks good, the animation on the spiders looks awesome, and they look cool themselves. And like,
the spiders,
that stuff freaky. Is good.
Well, we'll
I
answer
just
your
have other
consequences thing in
issues.
the next episode when we find out they can only fertilize a certain number of eggs.
That's what me and Thaden
I'd be more
both
okay with it.
agreed on our earlier show, that this episode, a lot of how good it was hinges on next episode and where it went.
If there are consequences in the next episode, that'll get rid of my issues in this episode.
I hope
so that helps.
I hope the one thing we can agree on is whether you like the episode or not. And this season as a whole so far, which is, by the way, is already 25% of the way over.
Don't say that.
Wow, did you have to put it in terms like that?
Is-
What the fuck, man?
It's 25% of the
My
way over,
emotions.
and we have not seen any Imperials yet. So
I do think.
Yeah, I kind of thought that would happen.
think that there's a possibility that, like, a lot of us were thinking this show was going to Boba Fett.
are you all right? You going to live
Yeah.
over there? Okay.
No, I had a little.
He's not.
I had a little hiccup there. We were all thinking this show was going to Boba Fett, and then at the end of the first episode, we saw Hobo Fett.
See, I never thought they were following up with him.
Not yet.
But now I think like this episode, like the whole thing could be searching for other Mandalorians, which means that
I think
both
that's
these
the season.
episodes were valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it is.
I also think, with all the stuff I said, I think I'm probably going to like it a lot more when there's something else after this. It's like the second episode of season 1. I didn't dislike as much as this, but when I first saw it, I was like, oh, like that's it? He just went and fought a rhino thing? And like, it didn't feel like much was revealed. It's revealed that the Yoda creature has the Force, which is like, yeah, we knew that though. But then the next episode happened, and now episode 2 is one of my favorite ones of this first season.
The Mudhorn became his seal too.
Yeah, that too. And stuff comes back a lot in this show.
Yeah,
even
I'm concerned that
even the prison thing.
He fights Crate Dragon in episode 1. He fights giant spider thing in episode 2.
Is it
What's he going to fight in episode 3?
A giant sea creature, because that's the planet they're going to.
The curious thing about episode 3 is I forget who. It was someone in the know-how that reports on Lucasfilm stuff. Someone from a Hollywood trait said the spiders, if you know where they're from and where you've seen them before, are a precursor to what happens next.
Didn't they come out and confirm that these spiders are in fact new?
Someone said it's a new species, but it was an artist, I think, so I'm not 100% sure.
Still, though, I mean,
source.
spiders, there's two things to draw back on. That's the Old Republic, which is probably not going to have anything to do with that, and Star Wars Rebels. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see Bo-Katan next episode. You're not seeing Ahsoka yet. But what I was going to say, though, is the budget. The budget for this show is clearly much higher than it was last season. Tommy,
to see that.
You've been patiently waiting to hate on this episode too, so hate away, my friend.
I mean, visually, it was pretty good, but
it was pretty good.
Yeah, I watched it. I got up at well, let's put a little bit more emphasis on this. I chose to watch this episode early Friday morning, 5:30 before I went to work. I really wish I watched the episode of Supernatural that came out the night prior. I feel like that would have been a better use of my morning time, because that would have been a more powerful experience. And even if the episode wasn't as good as it was, this episode, while it had some pretty cool visuals, and thanks to Kenny out there, shout out to him for actually mentioning that one of the New Republic pilots who did appear back in season 1 is Dave Filoni.
And the other one's from Kim's Convenience.
That's the one that took me.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I did not catch that. So
I didn't catch it when I watched it either, because his face is at weird angles the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, the story, I really wish the New Republic pilots played a greater role. I really wish, Din Djarin's relationship with the New Republic was a little more front and center for this than what we ended up getting. Frog Lady, which sounds kind of mean of a term, but I went ahead and looked up the Wikipedia article. That's all we have to go on right now. No species, no nothing. Is just not something I particularly care for. Maybe next episode they'll wrap her story up and I will care a little more. Maybe not.
Hope they
the
wrap her
baby
story up
Yoda,
in 2
the
minutes.
child eating the eggs. I gotta tell you, I got no fucks to give. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Not even a little bit. So many people acting like, oh, they just saw Baby Yoda go dark side.
Who gave him that fucking button?
Baby Yoda just turned to the dark side. He eating all them eggs.
Yeah, I don't think that's really what it is at
I
all.
don't fucking care.
He is a baby. It's true.
Why don't we just give him a red lightsaber while we're at it? I don't care. I care.
Well, gentlemen,
Fuck. It was Mandalorian. It was okay. It's far from the worst thing I've ever seen. It's far from the worst Star Wars I've ever seen.
I agree with
But
that too. At least.
you know, for an 8-episode series, for something I woke up and watched at 5:30 in the morning, it just didn't do it for me.
Just wait till they go to the water planet and you hear Misa here too on this planet.
oh man,
Honestly,
I will kill you if that happens.
Honestly, I probably would have enjoyed something with Jar Jar in it more.
I don't want to hear the name Jar Jar ever again.
What about Jim Jam?
Jim Jam is perfectly acceptable.
Good. I like Jim Jam.
Jar Jar is not. Jar Jar is
What
bad.
about Darth Binks?
Dar Dar Binks.
well, ladies and gentlemen,
Anyways, yes.
we've hit the point where we got to give the episode a score out of 10. We're going to start with Tommy first. What are you giving it, Ben?
6.5.
6.5 from Tommy B. Kieran?
I will give it shit out of 10. No.
Bless
It
you.
seemed like you're really scared.
I'll give it a 5.
Thaden?
I still did enjoy it.
I give it like a 3.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's... Oh,
I know.
Wow.
It might go up
That's
in the
mean.
future, but right now,
oh.
I was also. It might be partly because I watched it once, then I watched some YouTube videos about it, and I was like, "This is cool. I see what they're going for." And then I watched it again, and I was like, "Nope, it's not." So
Johnny?
it got worse.
7.
That's what I'm at too. A 7 out of 10. I thought it was solid. Misuse of time. Yeah, so 7 out of 10. There you have it. Mandalorian Chapter 10, The Passenger. In the books, we got a 7 out of 10, a 7 out of 10, a 5 out of 10, a 6.5 out of 10, and then the TLJ lover over there gave it a 3.5 out of 10.
One.
But, ladies and gentlemen, you know what that means. It's time for everybody's favorite segment. It's time for the segment that I'm going to win, the Death Watch.
I claim this sword and my rightful place as leader of Death Watch.
Were we on the screen for that?
No. It was
Play the
transition time.
song
We were
again.
dancing.
It was transition
They
time.
do that during transition. It's a little awkward sometimes.
It was a little bit like.
You're doing the Batusi. Stop that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
All righty, we got Tommy B now more prominent in the table, splitting Johnny and I up.
How dare he?
The way this works, ladies and gentlemen, is we each get 3 questions apiece in 3 separate Star Wars categories. The quizmasters for this episode were Johnny and Big Time Thaden, according to Johnny, who didn't want to reach out to him for whatever reason.
I didn't see the friend request.
And the way this works is we have categories in Star Wars literature, Star Wars on-screen, and Star Wars video games. The reigning, defending, cheating Death Watch champion is Kieran himself. And I have not won one, and Tommy's won one. And I believe I'm the only winless guy here.
Wait.
And
You have not won one?
That is
No,
correct. He has
I've
not,
not.
won yet.
Oh my god.
I've
Tommy,
gotten-
can we get you on fact check on that?
I feel bad because I know that means you really did get literature a lot of times.
I got literature every time but the last one, and I still lost. So
Read a fucking book.
No, I can't fact check that.
Oh.
Are incomplete.
Oh no, Kieran fell down the stairs.
Kieran had to go to his home planet.
Johnny?
Michael Myers now drowns me.
Do we let him come up for air? Nah, he's good.
Breathe underwater. It's
Yeah,
fine.
he's gonna
You
actually
gave him
drown
that
you.
air tank, right?
Johnny,
turn that
Thaden,
on.
take it away, guys.
All right.
you do this stuff.
Yeah, because we forgot that important step, so I did it while we were doing the intro. So,
Actually, I only just realized that we should have planned it ahead of time.
well,
the
thankfully
numbers.
I did that while
Thank
we were
you.
doing it, so you can.
In other words, he didn't, and he's planning to screw me, even though I've been on his side most of this episode.
I can in fact I'd show you, but
That's
that
true.
would defeat the purpose. But I do have a timestamp message to Thaden that proves that I did that while we were doing the
I
intro.
can't even look at it.
Your phone's
My
dead?
phone, it's not dead.
Better not be, I'm
It's
asking all the
way too
questions.
dead. It will die if I start doing that.
Oh my
But
god! You
that's
better
what
not run out
13%.
all you got. You'll just have to do.
Well, I
No, it's
also
on
have his
super low
questions,
battery, so it's
if,
fine.
If his
Anyways.
battery does die, I
Or
have his
low
questions as well.
battery,
So we're good.
And that's true. Yeah.
We're good. All right. So Kieran, as defending champion, you will select your number first, and then Sean, and then Tommy, because that's the order we're going to go in. So, Kieran, number between 1 and 10.
7.
No.
2.
No. Tommy?
4.
No. Kieran? No.
9.
No. Tommy?
5.
That is correct. Tommy, you have won first.
5 is such a bullshit number. Like, you're cutting it right.
You're
I'm
hating
pretty
on
sure.
numbers
Wait.
again.
I'm pretty sure that's the second time you've said a number is bullshit, and it was a different number both times. Let's
Every
just do
number-
this 1 to 5, okay?
I hate 5 and 7, but I
number
fucking love
bullshit.
spiders.
Every number is bullshit if it's not the one he picks.
The hilarious
That
thing is
is
I
true.
fucking hate spiders. Like, despise them.
Okay, Tommy, you picked the number
All right.
correctly, so you can choose your category first, 1, 2, or 3.
Give him literature.
I will take 1.
Okay, Kieran, as defending champion, you get second choice. 2 or 3.
I'll take 2.
And Sean, that leaves you
I'll
with...
take whatever's not literature.
Thank you. That leaves you with number 3. Okay, Kieran, defending champion, you get to choose your order.
I'll go first.
You go first. Tommy, as correct number picker, you can pick yours. Would you like to go
I'll
second
go
or third?
second.
All right, so Sean, that leaves you third. Would you like to know your categories now, or when you get your first
Yeah.
question?
I want to know him now.
All right, Tommy, you selected first, and you select category number 1, which is literature.
Yes! Yes!
You're a contestant. You're not allowed to do that
It's
anymore.
popping off right now.
Kieran, you picked 2, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, you chose the category of movies and television. Sean, that leaves you the category of video games. Thaden curated literature. I
did.
curated movie and video games.
I also did the overtime. I want to get to that.
You did.
I always have a fun time with
It's
overtime.
a good one. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
Oops, I don't need. That's the
Okay,
wrong.
let's hold this away from Kieran.
Yeah, let's not show him.
Not
his
this
question.
way.
Screw job!
Kind of see both.
Okay, so I guess technically you could see this because it's only literature, but I'm not letting you. All right, so here we go. Tommy.
I go first.
Oh, wasn't it Tommy first?
No, Tommy picked first.
Kieran's first.
Yeah,
Kieran has
Kieran-
Kieran's
Kieran
first.
selected
I
to
picked to
go
go
first.
first.
Tommy
Kieran.
picked to go second.
Yeah.
I was into.
So, Kieran, you got movies.
Yes.
Okay, your first question.
I see what happened.
The name you have you got a timer?
I just remembered.
I don't think Thaden should use timer.
We'll see how much
Well,
my
I
battery
can't-
It
goes
might
down
be
the
the
first time.
timer on his battery.
I can't very well ask the question
works.
and run the clock.
I think I'm probably good.
Just make sure you give him the 5-second warning.
Did you just say run the cock?
Why?
Pretty sure you
Oh,
said cock.
yeah.
You nasty boy.
You
You
need a soundbite
nasty,
for that.
you nasty,
said it.
nasty boy. All right, question number 1 in the
That's
category of movies
nasty.
and television. The name you know me by most is not my real name. My voice was heard on film after my death. My master's last words to me were a lie. They weren't right behind me. Who am I?
Repeat.
The name you know me by most is not my real name. My voice was heard on film after my death. My master's last words to me were a lie. They weren't right behind me.
Is it Kanan?
That is correct for 2 points.
Very good.
No use of the multiple choice, so you have multiple choice remaining for your other 2 questions.
I have the Kanan comics.
He's done it. Good work.
Okay.
Is it Tommy now?
Tommy is now
read a
second.
book.
So first question.
Anywho. Okay. Okay. I have killed numerous Jedi and Sith, though many not in combat. My existence was kept hidden from the Jedi Order. I was killed because of my rule, though my rule would continue for 1,000 years more.
Can you repeat the question, please?
I've killed numerous Jedi and Sith, though many not in combat. My existence was kept hidden from the Jedi Order. I was killed because of my rule, though my rule would continue for 1,000 years more.
I'm going to go with Darth Bane.
It is Darth Bane. Good work.
Wow, that might be the softest literature question we've ever had.
Don't you wish you
like
got
that's
literature?
It's both easy and hard.
As soon as he said the bit about my rule would continue for my rule and that it would continue for
The
1,000
rule
years
of
more.
two.
That was a. Actually, you know what?
It's a play on words. That's what
I
was going
didn't
for.
get that. I was thinking like, okay, well, like, how long did the Emperor stretch out? after this?
Precisely.
But yeah, okay.
All right, so 2 points for 2 points for Thaden.
Yay!
2 points for Kieran, 2 points for Tommy. Sean, I don't want to say pressure's on because it's not, but pressure's a little bit on. All right, question number 1 in the category of video games. My apprentice was convinced to return to the Jedi after helping defeat me. I exiled my master after taking his position. After my death, chaos would overtake my academy for some time. Who am I?
Ten seconds left.
Repeat the question.
My apprentice was convinced to return to the Jedi after helping defeat me. I exiled my master after taking his position. After my death, chaos would overtake my academy for some time. Who am I?
Can we see his hands?
I can see one of them, and now both.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Multiple choice. Much harder worded question.
All right, your multiple choice. Jorak Uln, Uthar Wynn, Euthurabon, or Kathleen Wynn?
B.
Uthar Wynn. That is correct.
For the win.
For those unaware, he is the ruler of the Sith Academy on Korriban in Knights of the Old Republic.
Thank you for looking directly at me because I didn't remember that. I don't think Kieran knew about that either, though.
I knew that one.
Nope. He has not played that game. Alrighty. Kieran is up next.
All right, that takes us to Kieran for question number 2. This is the hardest question in this category. All right, question number 2 in the category of films. You are currently tied with Tommy with 2 points. Sean has 1. I was a pilot. My ship, the Radiant 8, was destroyed very early in episode 1. My last line was different on film than it was in the script and what was recorded. Who am I?
I think I know this one, but I won't. Give me the multiple choice.
One right
I think
to
I'll be able to
multiple
get it
choice?
with the
Okay.
multiple choice.
Was it Mayfield, Maldo Kreis, Mon Mothma, or Maui Madakor?
Oh, yeah, that's not. I will take B.
Maldo Kreis is incorrect. It
It's
was
the first one.
No, it was Maui Madakor.
It's the dude from episode 1, I think.
Chick.
One of the
That's,
dudes.
that's not. It's
I
a woman.
I don't remember.
She's.
I remembered the ship, I think, but I don't remember the.
I think
Yeah,
I might actually
there's
wrote down
a-
the
Yeah,
name of the
it's a
ship
woman.
wrong. It was actually the Radiant 7, not the Radiant
Is that
8.
the
Well,
ship
he would've
that
got it.
explodes
That
in
might
the
have
opening?
That
Yes.
might have been.
That was the ship that transported Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon to the
Yeah.
That's the one.
Separatist
Yeah.
ship. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a lady. I remember her now.
Yes.
I'm at least 75% sure. Anyways,
I didn't hear the name that
know
I
what that
thought it was
means.
going to be, so I was like, oh, wow. Well, I'm fucked now.
Captain Panaka? Is that what you're...
No.
Anywho, on to Tommy's next question.
Correct.
All right. I served the Empire, obsessed with logistics and efficiency. I fought 2 who would become specters shortly before my death. I was killed while trying to meet a quota.
Give me the multiple choice, please.
Alrighty. Your options are Demetrius Vidian, Eli Viridian, Gallius Rax, or Balanhai Savit.
4, 3, 2.
Let's go with B.
Eli Viridian is incorrect. I made that one up. It's Demetrius Vidian. He's
You know what?
Count Vidian from A New Dawn.
In my head, I was
And
like,
a short story.
if he can't pronounce the last one,
Yeah,
can't be one
I
made
got
up.
that
That
one.
is just
I got that
hilarious
last one
in a way,
from Wikipedia. I
because
just looked up.
I
names.
just finished the audiobook for Ahsoka with an Audible trial, and I'm getting ready to go through A New Dawn. I actually just got the thing credited to my account,
That is a
but
very
haven't
close
read
call.
that yet.
It's a good book. It's a long book, but it's good.
Sean can actually take the lead now.
Yes, he can. All right.
2
It's
2
happening.
1.
2 2 1. You are down
prophecy.
by 1 point to tie, 2 points to take the lead. And you only have 1 multiple choice remaining. Both myself and my wife would leave the Jedi Order so we could marry. Our self-imposed exile would save our lives. I would die trying to protect my son. Who am I?
Ten seconds left. 5, 4.
Repeat the question.
Both myself and my wife would leave the Jedi Order so we could marry. Our self-imposed exile would save our lives. I would die trying to protect my son. Who am I?
Five, 4.
Multiple choice.
Choice.
Am I Kento Merrick, Malik Merrick, Marin Merrick, or Mark Martin? I actually wrote that hoping you'd get it.
A.
Okay.
Kento Merrick is correct. That is, of course, the father of Galen Merrick.
Why didn't you
didn't even know who
put
it
different
was.
people instead of just having mixed up names?
Just because you know the last name is Merrick doesn't mean you're going to know the first name.
He's trying to screw me.
That's
But,
true,
like-
actually.
But like, if you have ever heard of the person, you're like, oh, that's the only person that exists. Do those other people exist? Or are they all fake?
If they're close, though. I mean,
Close enough.
I
that-
did that.
Like, I'm not going to be like, is the answer Joba Fett? Boba Fett.
Hey, Boba Fett.
Nobo Fett.
Boba Fett is not dead.
Or Boba Fett.
I'm sorry. The person who is
Boba
critiquing
Fett.
me right now is literally the same one of us who used as a clue, I was mauled.
I
This
Yeah,
is
but
a good point.
the hint wasn't Bon Jin, Shy Bon Jin.
I'm sorry, but you have no legs to stand
I
on in
hate
this
Johnny questions because like you can
I'm with
tell
Johnny.
they're reaching. Like I had no chance of getting Kento Merrick unless he started listing the names, and I was pretty sure that was the name of Starkiller's dad. But like even the first question is like, oh man, I know my Star Wars video games, but like this is really out there. And
Second questions are always the toughest.
To be
ones
fair,
when
if
do it.
I had that question, I think I would have also, like, I would have gone through the names and been like, oh, Merrick, okay, I think I know who it is. I don't know their first name. But anywho.
all right, final round.
It's all tied.
It is all tied.
You know?
Sean has no multiple choice. Kieran and Tommy both have one banked.
Indeed. And they're both everyone's at 2?
Everyone's at 2.
Alrighty. I got the timer ready.
All right, Kieran. Your final question in the category of movies and television. My death is confirmed but never seen. I help raise an orphaned character. Sometimes it is the fall that kills you. Who am I?
Repeat the question.
My death is confirmed but never seen. I help raise an orphaned character. Sometimes it is the fall that kills you.
Multiple choice.
Are you Aura Singh, Asajj Ventress, Ayla Secura, or a lot of vagina?
I'm glad I didn't read that before.
Oh my god, I blanked on what the choices are now.
Uh-oh.
Quick answer.
Let's go with B.
Asajj Ventress is...
Oh, no, I wanted Aura Singh.
Challenge!
You picked B.
Okay, but you didn't tell me whether it was right or wrong.
Yeah.
But you picked B.
Tommy?
I still don't know who if he got it right or wrong.
I wanted Aura Singh.
I'm going to put this to the other players because he picked B, but he wanted Aura, who was actually A. I'll give it to Sean and Tommy. They can make the decision since they're the ones who would be aggrieved should you get it right.
I don't
You can
think...
have it.
I don't want to say he can't have it, but I think he deserves a lot of vagina thing obviously took his mind off the question.
Yeah.
How many overtime questions do we have?
One.
Ugh.
I shouldn't factor in.
Well, I was going to say give him the overtime question as a replacement. So
Oh.
Well, I don't know. I don't know whether it was right or wrong.
He doesn't.
It's a question of semantics. He wanted a character but selected the wrong number with the a lot of vagina hint kind of throwing him off. It's up to you guys to determine.
Just give him the question. Next.
There is no next. This is his final question.
yeah, they only have one overtime question. So yeah, you guys call. Doesn't matter.
I'm putting it to you and Tommy, Sean, because you guys are the players.
Give him the points.
I think I'm on that.
Well, the question is if he got
Give
it
me
right
the
or not. That's
Aura
still
Singh.
relevant. The question is,
I
do
might
you
be
force
wrong.
him to
He's
select
saying it is
B?
He
relevant.
amended himself
I might be wrong,
before.
but
Yeah,
we
no,
got
he did it
to
definitely
answer.
before you said it.
He amended himself after I said it was Asajj, not Aura Singh, who he actually wanted.
No, he
so you
didn't.
say,
No, he didn't.
What?
Well, yes.
I didn't
yes,
say if it was
yes.
correct or not, is the point I'm making.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yes,
it's up to you
yes.
guys.
He amended himself before you
Yeah.
confirmed
It was
denied the
okay.
answer.
It was also a mistake, I think, not a changing of mind. He wasn't like B. No, wait, C.
If
Because I changed my mind. He was like B. Wait, no, that was literally not the character I meant.
for the record, I know it's good fun. I know what you're doing here with the fourth multiple choice of each question. If it was a real name as the fourth one, there's no way I'm giving him this point. Sorry, you're out. But because of what you said, I don't blame him for being thrown off for that. So, give him the point, but maybe for future reference.
It's
Let's-
1.2 anyways.
Yeah.
It is 1 point, and since they're giving you your correct answer, your changed answer of Aura Singh, that is in fact correct.
Okay. It was because it's Boba Fett that she raised.
She raised Boba Fett. Her death was confirmed by Woody Harrelson in Solo, who didn't actually kill her but pushed her off a cliff.
Yeah. The fall that killed her.
It's the fall that killed her.
All right. Now that fiasco is done with,
It's Johnny's fault.
There's still two people that could win by
It's true.
getting without
or tie, and then fun question.
that war time, and then we get Thaden's question he so dearly wants it.
All right, so let's make that's the last
1 point to tie, 2 points to put you in the lead.
Alrighty, Tommy. I served closely with Revan during wartime. I would help rid the galaxy of the Sith triumvirate. I died by the Emperor's hand on Drummond Kaas.
Wow.
Repeat the question.
I served closely with Revan during wartime. I would help rid the galaxy of the Sith triumvirate. I died by the Emperor's hand on Drummond Kaas.
Five.
Mitra Cirque?
Nope.
Oh.
It's T3M4.
Wow.
Because Mitra Surik is killed by Scourge, not by the Emperor. And the Emperor kills T3.
I would have gotten that wrong too because
Yep.
just for the reference.
Yeah, I forgot
saw
about
that
I
paper.
saw the sheet, but I didn't see what you actually wrote.
I'm so glad that worked. No offense, Tommy. I just really wanted it to work.
Mitra Cirque a multiple choice option?
She was, yep.
I would have gotten
Now
it
that
wrong
that
anyway.
was a clever choice of words because you're absolutely right. It was Scourge. That piece of
Yeah,
shit.
he
It was funny 'cause
explodes T3.
we got Sean going.
Mitra also.
Softball
I'd also like to point out Mitra didn't help him rid the triumvirate.
I mean, she was a part. She helped rid the Triumvirate in general, but she was the one who did it.
She did it on. Well, I mean, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And served with Revan. I was so happy about that. During
was
two
cool.
different wars. Wow.
That was cool.
I was really proud of that
All
one.
right.
I wouldn't have got that.
Pressure's on.
Alrighty.
I wouldn't have remembered
Right
the
time.
droid name.
Pressure is on for Sean. You have no multiple choice remaining.
And a time.
So this is it. This is the ball game.
Ah, son of a bitch. It's not going to be
There's
the
no
overtime.
way for us to get to overtime now.
Son of a bitch.
So
Kieran, you suck.
This is it, Sean. If you get it wrong, Kieran wins, retains his title. If you get it correct, then you win outright. There is no chance for overtime.
Damn it.
So here is your final question in the category of video games. I started out working for Jabba the Hutt. I wasn't just a garbage man. For most, Lady Luck is a good thing. For me, it was deadly. Who am I?
$10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat.
I started out working for Jabba the Hutt. I wasn't just a garbage man. For most, Lady Luck is a good thing. For me, it was deadly. Who am I?
Five, 4, 3, 2.
Dash Rendar.
That is incorrect.
Had no idea.
It was Relo Barrack.
Never would have got that. What's it from?
No idea.
That
who
is from Jedi Outcast.
Yeah, never would have gotten that.
Damn it.
Do you have the
Why couldn't you guys
John
get overtime?
Cena entrance theme queued up for me?
Close enough.
You
make it work. Can you mute his mic?
Playing the role of Bret Hart, who got screwed over. Fun show, guys. Fun show. That was.
Kieran.
That's my answers.
I was gonna say, what the hell?
No, apparently it says I have a hockey game now. That's not.
At 11 o'clock at night. Interesting.
11 a.m.
I
at some
must have
point.
repurposed my alarm for wake the fuck up at this time for some reason.
Interesting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for the Imperial Remnant broadcast tonight. Kieran sneaks away with the Death Watch, courtesy Tommy B and myself allowing them to have a freebie. Wow. Anyways, this is where you can find us. Socials. Facebook group, Fandom Empire Den. Facebook pages, Fandom Empire Halloween Kills 2020 Supernatural Revisited. On Twitter, it's at Fandom Empire Now, at Star Wars IRB, and on Instagram, it's Fandom Empire Now and Star Wars IRB. Kieran, Thaden, where can everybody find you at, guys?
You can find us on Facebook at Rogue Sons, a Star Wars podcast. We like to post there when episodes are going to go. I like to post fun memes on there every once in a while. And I'm really going to try and pump up our Instagram stuff because Facebook is full of boomers who are angry about the election. So I don't want to be on it anymore.
You can also
So's
find
Instagram,
us-
but yeah.
the internet.
All I have is Star Wars actors on there. So
You can also find us on our actual podcast on Spotify and Anchor and pretty much podcast services everywhere. It's just called Rogue Sons Podcast, not Rogue One, like I said last time.
Alrighty, Tommy B, where can everybody find you at, man? Even though it's right above your head.
Wow. Everyone can find me hanging out on Facebook on our groups and pages. Check out the Phantom Empire Den, the channel's Facebook group. Check out Future of Halloween, all you Halloween fans out there. Future of Star Wars, got these groups for these subjects, these specialties of our channel and community. If you want to catch me on other platforms, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TommyB1650.
And Johnny, where can everybody find you at in your stupid questions?
You just have bad luck with my questions.
Oh, yeah, you didn't get it.
You didn't get it.
Shit.
One of those rare times he calls a shot. And
The
then
prophecy.
prophecy was unfulfilled.
Misread it was.
All right, you can find me on this channel doing any number of random things. course, you can find me on this show, or maybe even popping up in a random show. Or you can check my Twitter, which I've actually posted twice on in the last week.
That's infinite % more than normal.
That is infinite % more than normal. At Fandom_McMahon. Maybe I'll use it a bit more frequently. Yeah.
Awesome, and you can check us out at all the places I told you. Until next time, for Tommy B, Kieran, Johnny, and Thaden, I'm Sean, and may the Force be with you, and fuck the spider haters. Good night, everybody.